Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to another installment in the Avian Origins Survival Series. This is episode 2, and at the end of our last episode, we were fortunate enough to find a quite nice little village here that we're able to set up next to. And off camera, I've done a little bit of work setting up the house area that I'm wanting to actually live out of, which is going to be an interesting experience for me because I'm playing around with a couple of different building ideas, as I'm not great at sticking with a build palette in general. But you'll see here I've built off a small little patio that comes off the side of this mountain area. I've lined out the border of the home with these cobblestone blocks. And what I think I'm going to want to do next is kind of outline on these different corners a couple of items. And as I do that, let me go ahead and grab one extra block here, because I think that this is going to be the best place to put up this indented corner of the house. I might be, you know, as I'm thinking my way through that, that might not actually be the best plan, which is a little bit unfortunate. But let's see, because what I certainly want to do is up on these sides, come up about 5 blocks for the wall height. And so on these different corners, we'll want to place these spruce logs up to about that height. And that means that this one as well. And then this final corner. And actually, I don't think that we need any log support on that corner there per se. It will possibly mess around with some of the building that's being done, but I don't think that it will mess with it too terribly. So the next thing that I'm going to want to do is going to be really making use of the new mouse that I have. And I've mentioned that I'm quite excited to play around with this in a couple of my videos at this point. But what I really want to do here is I've got a decent palette of blocks that I want to play around with, and I'm going to make a couple of these polished blocks there, and then with a palette about like this, I actually think that we're going to be in a good spot to get some variation around our the sides of this build and such. So let's just do something real quick with this. Make sure that we can put up a door frame. And I was going to right click, but if I did so with that axe in my hand, I would have stripped that log, and that's not exactly the effect that I was hoping for there. So let's go ahead and knock that log back down. And I actually think that that'll be a good little doorway for us to work our way around. And now let's go ahead and unlock that scroll wheel. And then we will just give it a spin. And if you have any sort of visual type sensitivity, you might want to avoid paying attention to my hotbar here for a bit, because I do think that this could potentially give some people some vertigo type experience, if you will. Let's see how well this comes out on this section of the wall in terms of just giving it some variety here. I don't think that that's terrible. And the other thing that you've always got to keep in mind with these is there's always going to be a need for some adjustment after the fact. For example, we don't want 2 of those sitting right up next to each other. But otherwise, I don't think that that's too bad. So let's go ahead and get this same type of texturing going here. Across this doorway. And possibly what I should have done, now that I'm thinking about it, is used more stone rather than andesite. But this isn't something that has to be incredibly public. So at the same time, I'm not terribly concerned about it. So let's continue to make our way around these walls, and I'll probably time-lapse the rest of this just for convenience's sake here. Let's just go ahead and fill in this area as well. I'm not concerned about something getting in here, but it'll just make things look a little more uniform with this wall. And we've got a bunch of this stone left for our use and purposes here. And then that creeper despawned. So, or no, he went inside the house. Oh boy. That wasn't the best thing that's ever happened, but it's a good thing this isn't a hardcore series, right? At least we got him far enough away from the house, and I was really hoping or trying to get some mending on my pick there. So, at the end of the day, I got a little gutsy and made a play that did not pay off. But damage isn't too bad, all things considered. Let's get ourselves covered back up with the minimal armor that we have and see if we can get this door placement right. I think that does it. Yeah, that gets us in and out of that front door, and you'll see that I've got a couple of window spaces carved out. I really just need to run down and grab myself some sand, and I know that there's some over here, so let's go ahead and knock that out now since we've got a shovel. And the other thing that I'm really enjoying about this Avian class is the fact that, you know, I can just float down to the ground whenever I need or want to do something. Now the real thing that's going to pain me here is making stairs, because when you make stairs out of wood, you are losing on your available resources, and I really, really don't like doing that, especially when with stone and other items, you can conserve some of your goods by using a stone cutter, but unless you're using the mod pack, which allows you to craft or I guess cut wood with a stone cutter type application, you're not going to be able to do something like that. And shoot, well, that's a set of stairs that we'll collect to use at a slightly later time. Just a little unfortunate that it was placed upside down right there in the moment. Yeah, we're definitely going to need a lot more wood, and as awesome as this golden axe is, it just doesn't last very long. I mean, it's got mending on it, so I can repair it back up when and if it takes damage, but I'm not going to be able to take out an entire tree with the axe itself. I can at least get a nice start on it, but I might only make it about a half or 2/3 of the way up this tree before I need to switch off of it. Well, it only took me chopping down one of those large trees over there, and I did replant it. It actually looks like it's already regrown, not quite as tall as before, but regrown nonetheless. And we've got the entirety of this roof finished off. I do think that this little raised portion is a little odd, but if I set it into the lower portion of the ceiling, then we have spawnable stuff on top of the roof. So I think that that is the best trade-off, best case scenario trade-off for what we're hoping to accomplish here. So let's just take a quick step back and admire the home before, you know, we call it a day, and both here in time, as well as call it time for the episode. And where's that guy coming from? Ooh. I was just trying to, you know, mind my own business around here, and you're over here taking pot shots. Oh, and your squadron's down there too. Fabulous. Actually, now that I think of it, there is an iron golem in this village, or at least there has been. Hey, buddy, what if I heal you up some, and you come out of this hole and help me with this guy? Because he really shouldn't be in here. And you need to get out from the bottom of this hole. Buddy, come on. There we are. I even spent my last ingots to help heal you back up, so thank you very much for your services there. But that is going to do it for today's episode. If you enjoyed, make sure that you leave a like on the videos. That greatly helps me out. And don't forget to subscribe for daily variety content. It's not all Minecraft related things, but I'm sure that you'll enjoy what we're doing and what we're working on regardless. So I'm going to work on doing some of the farming here that the villagers have been missing out on. And I hope to see you in our next episode or our next video. Take care, everyone.